The Boys, Season 5, Episode 4, and this episode is a good episode. It's a good episode. I mean, what it is, this episode is kind of feels like a, hey, this is what Vault Rising is going to be about. Like, this feels like a little bit of a backdoor pilot, or a bit of a pitch to, yes, we know it's the final season, but this is why you should check out the prequel show that's coming out in like a year or 6 months' time, whenever they're going to release the first season of Vault Rising, right? Because it's giving us information about Soldier Boy, how he wasn't all this, like, you know, what he is. You know, he's not like the super tough macho, you know, 1940s, you know, veteran who's like, I fought this country, I fought the Nazis, and blah 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 blah. And what you realize is, oh, he wasn't that at the beginning. He was a coward, or he was not as sure of himself and where he's come from, what his background was, what type of personality he was, who was the person who took on V1. Why at the beginning, and seeing his vulnerability shaping in this entire episode. Because here's the thing about this episode. This episode is all surrounded this house. It's an abandoned laboratory that somehow they keep seeing bodies everywhere. Like, Homelander and Soldier Boy sees bodies everywhere. The boys see the bodies everywhere because they're thinking, hey, V1 might actually be somewhere, right? So V1 might be in this bunker, but the problem is something's letting everyone want to kill each other. And what we have here is an episode where it's like, who is the threat? It ain't the heroes, it's not the soups. It's the boys themselves, because they keep bickering each other, they keep, assaulting each other, they keep doing all these things to a point is leading to them wanting to kill each other, which literally I thought we're going to say goodbye to one of the boys. I literally thought, like, halfway through, because this, we only got 4 more episodes left, we got 4 more hours of this show, so in the back of my head I'm thinking, someone might actually bite it. I'm thinking maybe Mother's Milk. Like, I feel Huey and Butcher are kind of safe bets. Like, Huey and Butcher seem to be safe bets of you're surviving till the final episode. But the others are open season. And it's kind of also probably showing, what are the vulnerabilities? What are the things that is inside the heads of these characters, and they haven't, talked to each other and all that. It's probably also showing vulnerabilities, because Frenchie gets easily jealous. Anytime someone, any guy, not like, the super jealous boyfriend, but like, he feels a sense like, what's going on there? Like, what do you think? Because he just sees, Mirko hugging Huey. Just a simple hug, a friendly hug. He gets a little bit insecure, thinking something's going on. Even though I'm like, dude, he's with Annie. He's with Starlight. There's nothing to be jealous about. Don't worry, he ain't gonna steal your girl. Like, it is an interesting thing about that. But it is kind of showcasing all the vulnerabilities of these characters. And probably it's like, well, if you take the filter off. Like, we see Homelander with no filter, and how he's just like, I'm going to be the savior of this, because he thinks he's God. He literally thinks he's Jesus. He is the savior of mankind, which is, oddly enough, not a satire anymore, which is weird. Maybe all this, I'm trying to question myself, like, why is TikTok's algorithm keep giving me Scientology videos? Why? That's my question. Maybe it's because it's boys and this whole, like, Homelander thinks he's God thing. And I love how, like, because, in the beginning of the episode, Homelander goes to Firecracker and say, "Hey, I'm God." Make a massive media campaign about this idea of this concept, and how realistically 70% of the U.S. would not appreciate that Homelander calls himself the second coming of Christ, or at least him as God. So it's just I love Firecrackers, because we all know Firecrackers so Lord Homelander, but the moment the whole Homelander's like, "I'm God, I'm the savior," she's like, "I'm sorry, what? what's going on here? Who's that? What's going on here? Why? Who? What? He? Who?" And all that. But I mean, look, and that. So I thought that was a little bit hilarious. But also we get a little bit of background with Starlight, her reuniting with her dad, which I was like, hey, it's Tim Daly. It's well, at least one of the voices of Superman, the Superman from Superman the Animated Series, and but Superman, Batman Public Enemies, Justice League Doom, and Superman, Batman, Apocalypse. So he has voiced Superman a few times, and all that. I was like, if Homelander shows up, I'll be like, God, that's so better. we answered that question. Who will win the fight, Superman or Homelander? I mean, I know there's a DCKO that answers that question, but at the same time, I was like, if Homelander shows up in Starlight's house, I would be like, this is the most meta thing ever, and kills her dad. I'm like, God, we can make all the jokes in the world with that. Anyway, but I won't lie, having the scene of itself kind of reminded me, the whole section of Starlight visiting her dad and trying to rectify and all that, I kind of knew what was coming. It still worked. There's still some hilarious stuff that, Starlight's, teenage brother has all of the, female superheroes of the Seven, like Firecracker and Queen Maid, massive posters on the center, and he has a lube on the side applying that he's being, let's say, we know who his celebrity crushes are, let's say that. I was like, God damn. I was like, clearly, I was like, okay, welcome to the world of the boys. And that. But the scene, the whole section of the Starlight really reminded me of X-Men 2, where the X-Men visit Iceman's house. There's conversation between Bobby and his parents. The older brother calls the police, and the police show up. It reminds me of the second X-Men film, and I kind of knew where it was heading. But how it was handled, I thought it was good. I thought, I mean, to be fair, when you have a situation where, hey, our main characters might kill each other, even though we got 4 more hours of this, it might be a really nice, it might actually, you find that the Starlight area of things might be the least interesting. Still good, but still not as engaging as the other parts. The jokes, I mean, finding out, Soldier Boy or Homelander finding out that, knowing father and son slept with the same woman without knowing. I was like, this is turning into Game of Thrones at this point. I thought this is Amazon, not bloody HBO. Jesus Christ. And then also finding out that some plant thing, and who he makes a joke about The Last of Us, and Frenchie says, no, that's not it's not like The Last of Us. The Last of Us is just Walking Dead with mushrooms. I'm like, first thing first, The Last of Us is not just The Walking Dead with mushrooms, because I able to handle seeing two versions of the same fucking story getting told twice. I play part 1 and part 2 of the game, and I watch the TV show, and Walking Dead, not so much. So it's like, completely thing. I'm more invested with, Joe and Ellie, and then what, Wick and Semblaboo, whatever the fuck it is. But whoever, the Deacon or whatever. But yeah, this episode is good. I thought this episode is good. I mean, what? We got 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, we got 4 more episodes. So hopefully, because look, if the remaining, let's say the remaining 4 episodes are, or at least 3 years, we need to find V1. It's going to get easily repetitive. So hopefully they're able to move the plot. Hopefully this is a situation of trial and error, and now we get the solution, or if there's an error, there's a different type of error. And now also at the end, the world, or at least America, has accepted Homelander as the second coming of Christ. So take that as your will. So, oh dear. Anyway, comment below, let me know your thoughts of this episode.